Hey, good morning, guys. Coming to you here from the Oldbarn Homestead. My name is Gary. Just thought I would take a minute to go through the comments on the last video, and I'm getting lots and lots of comments lately on some of the videos I've been putting up on this channel. So I thought, rather than me typing out a 1 or 2 word answer or thank you or whatever, it's not really that interactive and it's not that useful, but for some reason I feel obligated to give you a reply. If you took the time to leave a comment, I kind of feel obligated that I should, get back to you. But this way I think is more interactive. So every couple of days, I'm thinking that this might be a good idea. Just go through the comments, acknowledge, and if there's questions that come up, go into those or whatever. So Reed Eichner, yep, he's always there and talks about being a money pit. Man, you're not kidding about that. I've never done a barn restoration, but I know it's going to be spending a lot of money when I really need to be spending any extra money I get back into the business, back into the shop. Better equipment, better, finishing equipment like a sandblast cabinet and a deburring setup, and anything I can do to make the products I sell better. Also a foam packaging system. Zig gassed up, you're going to put it, yeah, he's got a sarcastic comment. So you're going to put a modern shed and put all the barn bits back on the inside so it looks like you're in an old shed. I like the idea of building a modern shed inside the old barn, but the idea of antiquated barn inside a modern building is way cool. So, okay, so he was not being sarcastic on this one. This is Travis Snodgrass. I don't remember seeing a comment from him. Sorry, that's the wrong video. Yeah, so he's talking about finding a home position on the sheet. I would do a better job, make sure I'm on the right video here. Level 3 RC. I think he's been going back and looking at some of my older videos. I see quite a few comments popping up for him. Glad he's watching. The high school require massive amounts. Yeah, you're right about that. And I do have some basic insurance, but not enough probably to cover that. But that's something that, is just worthwhile doing. And if I'm going to have employees here, I need to have that for sure. Most of my time, advertisement, definitely. The cheapest truck on the dealer's lot. This is McKen KYT. He always leaves the comments. Carries the same warranty as the most expensive one. He heard me mention something about my truck being paid for. Wave Action. Hadn't heard from him in a little bit. Think you are building your brand is important to you. So when the name comes up, people have to automatically relate it to something for it to be powerful as much as it can be. Everything you do well. That is obvious from your product, but a focus would make you succeed even more. Nowadays, we have to be at the top of our game at something. So he's kind of cueing in on, my lack of focus, and the barn would be a distraction from what I'm trying to do right now. So yeah, the barn can wait. You are a 1+ man show. Time is what you need the most. Just my personal opinion. Yep, I agree 100%. Brian Block says to fix up the roof so that the barn would stop it deteriorating. Then take that time to develop more products and learn to do more things with the tools that you have. No doubt. Yeah, I need to, I got plenty of shop equipment to do plenty of work with. It's just mastering what I have and leveraging what I have. That plasma table, I still need to kind of dial it in a little bit more. I mean, it's a whole lot better than it was, but I think it can be dialed in a little bit more, and I need to focus on that. And and there's just so many different products and things that I need to get one produced of and get out there, and my footprint of what's available for sale in the marketplace is very limited. It's a wonder I'm even selling as anything I do at all. I only have just a very small handful of products out there. and I need to have 50 or 100 different things, and I'm talking about the different signs and toolkits and all that. And I'm already kind of at the point where I'm consuming a lot of time filling orders and, responding to emails and, and the custom things that people ask me to do, consume a lot of unbillable time. And I hate to say it, and I want to try to stay away from custom things as much as possible and focus on, I'm going to make this product and it's available in the market. And if you want to buy that, great. If you want, 40 different colors of it or whatever, then that's not really something I can do. I mean, this customizing everything is, even though that's the name of my company, right now it's just extremely time consuming, and it's just not profitable, meaningful work. But if I can crank out, little signs and flags and things like that are not custom, that there's a process in place for, I can push it through the system, I'm better off to do that. So I need to get more of those things that are, over into production mode and limit the things I do that are custom right now. So my cousin or niece, I don't know which one it is, April, she's got her own project right now. It's just on paper, and that's as far as it might ever get. She'll get to it. It's just one of those things you'll eventually get to it. You just got to stay focused on it. Your beekeeper, he's agreeing with my focus and, keeping the barn in sight, but, not be working on it right now. And just know that that's something I can look forward to. And I think he's right. It's what I've come to the realization of doing. It's just out there, and I see it, and I definitely want to get back to it for sure. Bill De La Vega, same kind of thing. Other people have said keep it on the back burner, maybe do some things to stabilize it. The one thing I could do that doesn't really cost any money but will cost time is just take it all down and discard what's junk about it, and and get it organized and stacked on pallets, and create some, like a drying, these people that do lumber and they put, so stack it up, get it to where it can dry, put a cover on top of it, and that way the stuff that's kind of gotten deteriorated and has gotten wet, where it's sort of soaked from the bottom up, that can start drying out. So Matthew, King's Disaster Garage, he comments on a lot of videos, and I'm actually working on a custom project for him right now that I'm going to be actually doing later this week. Hopefully have a video on that. So thanks to Matt for reaching out to me on the project that we got there. Dan Ponjacan, one thing I want to point out too is a lot of times you'll hear me saying things that are geared toward, people in America, and it's like the only people that are watching this channel are people in America. But really, I have, everybody that creates videos on YouTube, we have a very large international audience. Only about 40 or 50% of the people that watch my videos are in the US, and that means everybody else is outside the US. So I don't mean to exclude people, and sometimes you'll see a name and it or a picture or whatever, and you can just tell that you're in a different country or whatever, and I'm glad you're here, and I don't mean to lose sight of that you're not in America and that kind of thing. So just I personally subscribe in part with the hopes of watching you rebuild the barn. I've grown to like this channel more than the main channel. It's interesting that you say that. I think there's other people that like that also. And that's why I do the two channels and keep it separate, because there's a whole bunch of people that this video right now, they could care less about. They don't want to hear anything about it. They don't want to hear the interaction. They don't want to see, the comments and see kind of the day-to-day labors of what's going on. They just want to see a 10 or 15 minute quick, result, which is, what are you making? Let me see how you made it. And bam, you're done. So yeah, Eco Mouse, he's my resident, troll police, even though he's kind of a troll himself. It's one of those never troll a troll thing. He's out there, jumping on these people that are random trolls that come through. and he's been in a debate with somebody on one of the other videos here. I'm seeing the notifications come through on the comments back and forth. And Eco Mouse, I mean, I appreciate the hard work you're trying to do there, but some of these people you just can't rationalize or reason with, so you might as well not even try. Tom Zelikman has got his own YouTube channel. If you guys don't watch him, go check him out. I'm actually working with him right now on a project where he's on his Tormach CNC lathe. He's turning these bender dies for this custom bender I'm making for that induction furnace setup that I really need to get back on. So hopefully, Tom, you'll have an update for me on that this week. But he had some kind comments here, and he's actually looking at a different video. Sorry about that. I got to keep track. This is the barn video I'm trying to look at. But he was talking about the water level, and yeah, he's talking about the cut quality and so forth on his plasma cam, which I believe he did a water table kind of retro. I don't know that those come with a water table, but I could be wrong on that. But I think he had a video a while back, building a water table for his. Ray Eddy has been a great person, leaving good comments here, and he's talking about developing a good client base, and yeah, so he's just kind of supporting what many of you are saying out there. I will watch videos on the barn, but then again, what's that worth? Maybe a third of a cent. Yeah. We'll definitely be making videos on the barns, and at this point, the viewership watching that, wouldn't pay for the time that I spend on it and the time to make the videos or any materials. It would be, guys, just to be honest with you, this channel makes about $70 a month. Okay. That's it. That's all I make off of this. And how much time I put into this, and I'm making videos every day, 30 videos a month. So a little over $2 a video to take the time to film it and upload it and interact and respond to the comments. But I get so much extra value out of it from all the comments and ideas and suggestions that it does make it worthwhile. And even though I may not immediately respond to all your comments or your suggestions, you'll note, over time, I do take them, many of them. And even though I sometimes forget to give credit for who recommended this or that, you'll just see it, something that you recommend show up in a video. And so I am watching and I am listening, and to the extent that I can, taking your comments. Curly's in Australia. Yeah, it looks like it may be a lot of work. He's talking about, getting a shipping container. And he's talking about heaps of old Queenslanders' houses here in Australia get stuck restoring, usually find out nothing was built level. Yeah. And that's why I am not going to restore this barn, even though that was the title of the video. This thing is going to be a complete teardown, and there'll be a new structure built on a modern slab with, post and beam construction, and, be completely built from the ground up. So I'm not going to get into what Brian Block did on his barn with all the jacking and leveling and all that. Rooster saying that, you could put up a simple pole barn. Definitely could do something like that. George Shaytree, Fix It Man, I think you stated your best case at the end. Focus on the business. Definitely got to do that. Rich here, my advice from experience is to focus maybe on one or two things. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Good to see NC Automan 57, been a long time subscriber. I would invest all my time in the business for 2 years, from Rick Anderson. That's a great suggestion, Rick. I appreciate that. Michael Merriam, consider using the barn project as a way to decompress. And that's definitely, what I was thinking, just not getting so wrapped up in it, and have it be a way that I can step outside the shop, get some work outside, get in the sunlight, some physical manual labor. And so that's kind of what I was thinking there. But what tends to happen with me, I don't know about you guys, is if I do a little bit of work on it, I'll get kind of excited about it and see a little progress. And then the next thing you know, I'm, spending a whole weekend on it. And I really need to be spending my weekends in the shop making stuff and making videos and that kind of thing. Retro weld, yeah, he's talking about repurposing the wood for furniture projects. I could definitely do that, but I'm thinking that the building just, I don't know, it has sentimental value to me, and I would hate to make stuff out of it and sell it and I'd never see it again. So my idea of repurposing it and using the wood on the inside is that I'm kind of preserving the history and the artifact and keeping it right where it originally was to the extent that I can. And Brian Block mentioned earlier about being able to dismantle it's going to be a hard job getting those rusty nails out, and he speaks from experience on that. So I'll have to just deal with that when I come to it and figure out what the best way to do that, and maybe a hole saw a little bit bigger than the nail, just drill a hole right in the wood to release the nails. But as you guys know, many of the nails get bent and are crooked, so that may or may not work. So I have to come up with a good way to dismantle it without without messing it up. A lot of it is already coming apart, and so 265 Chevy, yeah, he's got a huge undertaking there with the this one big ass old house project he's doing in New Orleans, trying to preserve as much of it as he can and the history of it. And he's had a big undertaking. Check him out. He's got videos on it, and he's making good progress on it for sure, but he can definitely relate to what I was looking at. Cody Scott, gotta love the North Texas weather. He must be local here. I don't see too many comments from Cody, but glad to have you watching. Cody, I like the idea of turning the barn into a showroom of your products. Yep, that's Joe Rudderify, and definitely looking forward to doing that, and a way to, not just to be able to sell the products, but I think the barn and the showroom to create brand recognition about what this is about, being a bootstrap operation, started from the ground up, local fab shop, local, things being handmade in America, sold in this old barn that's been preserved on the inside, talk to local media outlets, get stories written on it. That's kind of where I'm trending to, and just get some marketing out of that, to sort of help build on the brand, and eventually, I'm not sure what kind of products I would sell, but these plasma art, things, I'm thinking that is getting me by now, but that may not be the long-term, strategy here. That's, very much a commoditized, business. I mean, everybody and their brother has a CNC plasma table and makes that kind of stuff. People have pointed out that the candy paint jobs are pretty uncommon and rare, but you see quite a few of them out there. And, and even if you don't have a full ability to do an automotive paint job on them, there's other ways you can get candy paint jobs with rattle can paint. They don't look quite as good, but you can still get them. So yeah, that's it on the comments. 1970 Chevelle 396 says he took metal shop in high school for 4 years. That's what got me started. I took shop in high school as well, but we mostly had woodworking and did have a little metalworking. And Jacob says, my thoughts, don't waste your time, money on rebuilding that old thing. Just tear it down and build new. I don't know if he completely watched the video or not, but that's kind of what I said in the video. But good to have Jacob agreeing with me on that. So anyway, guys, 18 minutes long. I just wanted to get back to all you guys on the comments. Appreciate the support. I'm going to get this uploaded. I got to get started and get going, and we will talk to you soon.